Hello bros and welcome to SFX0 Bro5 Production, and next part Sakura Succubus 2. So, if we go to last time, the girl that probably wants to gut me right now was about to find out I was in the women's locker room with a famous tennis player, and she put us into a locker and then apparently jumped into the locker again after me. So we pressed together with a famous tennis player. A female famous tennis player. Let's see what happens. Hazel just pulled me into a nearby locker. The locker is so crammed I can scarcely move. My shoulder bumped against the sides of the locker and my legs are treated helplessly with Hazel's. Since Hazel pulled me into the locker after her, her back is pushed against the wall. Given our current position, it must look like I'm pinning her down. Hazel's bosom is pushed against my chest. I can't see her, it's so dark, but I definitely feel her. We're even closer than a pair of lovers. There's barely any space between us. Given we've known one another for less than an hour, things sure are progressing fast. I don't think there are any sentences that have ever been written another for less an hour. I don't think there are sentences that are written like that. Like, the sentence is exactly this. Given we known one another for less an hour. That's not a sentence. So I changed it while I read it, just so you know that I didn't read it wrong. If anyone actually checking the text, that is. I mean, for all I know, people might actually turn off the sound and sit there reading it by themselves. But let's continue. It's no wonder Hazel's breathing is so irregular. She sounds like she's having a panic attack. Actually, I have a thing to say. I found out since last time I recorded that it's actually true. Hazel is actually going 100% commando. That's why if anyone wanted to know for sure. I'm not sure if we find that out or not. Hazel? I can't see Yuriko, but I can hear her. She paces about the change room, the heels of her shoes clacking against the ground. That's funny. I could have sworn I heard her voice. I guess she's not here. Mr. Augustaro isn't here either. Did he leave? I didn't see him. And he didn't check out. Oh well, I have to keep looking. If I found his fought my authority, he'd be in serious trouble. Well, my excuse would actually be I was in the bathroom. I had to go to the toilet. She can't got me then, right? Yuriko's heels clack smartly against the ground as she turns to leave. She closes the door behind her with a thud, and the changing room is plunged once more into silence. Huh. I exhale heavily, my shoulders slumping with relief. That was close. I'm glad she didn't find us. Shall we get out of here, Hazel? I guess we could, but what? Are you alright? I'm fine. It's just, well, Hazel's body shifts beneath mine. Her bosom pushes against my chest more intimately than ever. Her knee nudges between my legs. Hiroki. Oh, Hiroki. Hazel's voice drops to a low, sultry whisper. She finds her arms around my waist, pulling me close. Hazel, what's going on here? I thought she was a lesbian. What was I wrong? I don't think she's a lesbian. But, that's just my opinion. If I didn't know any better, I think she was trying to flirt with me. There must be something wrong with me. I don't really get this myself, but being so close to you like this, it's making me feel so hot. Hot. Are you sick? No, I'm not. I'm all flushed, but my thinking is just fine. I know what I want, and I want you. Me. But what about Yuriko? Isn't she your partner? She is, but we are not exclusive. I love Yuriko a lot, but I love a lot of other women besides her. I love men too. Ah, so I guess the rumors about Hazel being a lesbian weren't entirely accurate. Based on the confession, she must be bi. I love anybody who can excite me. I like beautiful, elegant women and kind, sweet men. You've been very kind to me, Hiroki. And you smell good too. Your aroma is simply delectable. It's making me go out of control. Now that our bodies are pushed together like this, I can't fight my instinct. I have to have you. Right here, right now. Well, I think that's actually a pretty good confession. Also, that she probably is a succubus, considering she just said I smell good. Okay, but I did something so brazen. Hazel sits on the bench of the change room. Her shoulders slumped and her hands on her face. I can just about see her cheeks through her criss-crossed fingers. They are burning red with embarrassment. I didn't think Hazel was the sort to get flushed, but I must have misjudged her. She's more maidenly than her tomboyish demeanor suggests. I'm so sorry, Hiroki. That crossed the line even for me. I don't know what I was thinking back then. Well, no, I do. Hazel lets her hands fall from her face. She looks up at me, her eyes large and guilt-ridden as she cries. I wasn't thinking at all. I got all worked up and let my stupid urges get the better of me. I practically forced myself on you. I'm the worst. Hey, Hazel. It's alright. It's true it was sudden, but I don't really mind. It's not like it felt bad or anything. Really? You're not just saying that to be nice, are you? Do you really mean that? I mean every word. If I really wasn't into you, I would have pulled away. Though, to be honest, there wasn't that much room to pull away. The interior of that locker was very tight and narrow. But pressed against Hazel's body as I was, I could have opted to escape. I only needed to push the door open. The fact that I didn't should speak volumes. Hazel has no reason to feel ashamed. I'm okay with what happened, really. Don't beat yourself up. Ah, jeez. Thanks, Hiroki. You're really nice. Still, you don't deny that it was my fault. We shouldn't even be in the changing room. You didn't want to come in here, but I insisted. It's a cause of me that you got roped into such a sticky situation. I'm trained to be a pro tennis player, but I did something totally unprofessional. Your opinion of me must be ruined. It's fine. I don't think any less of you, I swear. In fact, part of me would be opposed to doing that with Hazel again. No, preferably under better circumstances. The smell of sweet and moldy socks was a bit of a turn-off. Well, if you're sure. Thanks again, Hiroki. Sorry you had to put up with me. It's fine, I'm used to it by now. You are? Hazel's eyes widened. Did you get jumped by girls every second of the day? You're not like a total harem protagonist, are you? A little bit. If I'd been possessed posed such a question only a few months ago, I would have laughed in derivation. Me, a harem protagonist. I wouldn't have said, yeah, right, and that there really is a rabbit that pounds moochie on the moon. I never heard that before. Now, however, I guess that wouldn't be entirely inaccurate. I see. Hazel nods her head, one hand beneath her chin. You must be kinda like me, then. I have a lot of lovers too. Hiroki included? Yeah. Speaking of which, she won't be happy if she finds out what happened today. Can you keep it a secret, please, Hiroki? Pretty, please? I don't know if lying to one's partner is a good practice, but after interacting with Yuriko, I can understand why Hazel is so antsy. I wouldn't want to get on her bad side either. Sure I can. If she found out, I'd be in trouble too. Speaking of which, I should probably go. I overstayed my welcome. According to my watch, it's about 10 minutes past 7. My trust in the locker with Hazel only lasted a few minutes, but it put me well over my appointed hour. I should get back to work. My boss be off these photos. I don't want to make Yuriko suspicious either. That's a good point. I need to start training too. I've slacked off a bit too much. I'll let you go for now, only Hazel gets to her feet and takes a step towards me. She leans in, arms linked behind her back, then breathes in. I wasn't mistaken. I wasn't mistaken earlier. You really do smell good. Again with the smell, huh? I did wonder if Hazel had some sort of scent fetish, but I don't think there's anything all that special about my aroma. I doubt I smell anything more than soap and sheep body spray. I'm a pretty average guy, all told. But Hazel looking at me like I'm some sort of god. Wait, did it really say god? Yeah, it did. The glazed frosted glance she's giving me is rather familiar. It reminds me of the first time I ran into Ayu after her concert. Could it be? Hey, Hazel. I was wondering. This might sound stupid, so forgive me if it doesn't make any sense, but you're not a succubus, are you? Ah! As the mouth falls open with an abject surprise, her eyes widen to almost comic proportion as she stutters helplessly. What? Who told you? That's supposed to be top secret. Ah, I knew it. I had a hunch something fishy was going on ever since Hazel started pawing at me like a cat in heat, but it's nice to have a bit of confirmation. If Hazel was a little more calculated, she would have brushed aside my query with all of Succubus. What's that? Everybody known about Succubi don't exist, dummy. I was banking on her not doing that though. She was too earnest. Some might say stupid, for her own good. Oh no, this is bad. This could be really bad. Crap. The princess told me to keep my true identity a secret. I'm not meant to let any humans know who I am. If she finds out about this, I'll be ruined. I'm going to get punished. She spit on me, step on me, or pull my hair. That's kind of scary, but it's kind of exciting too. Yeah. I heard of this Succubus princess before. Marina mentioned her on a couple of occasions, and so has Hifumi. Hifumi herself used to be the Succubus princess before she abdicated. I wonder what sort of person she is. Based on Hazel's panic, she must be quite frightening. Will I ever meet her? I turned this door over idly in my head. But now they're not the time to ponder such things. I need to calm Hazel down. If she makes too much noise, Yuriko might hear us and then it'll be game over for real. It's alright, Hazel. Don't worry. I already know about Succubi. It's not your fault. Huh? You do? Did you have much experience with Succubi, Hiroki? You must, if you were able to figure me out so fast. I thought I'd done a pretty good job of blending in with you humans. You really have. I had no idea you were a Succubus at first, until you started talking about my smell. Marina said the same thing. That's what drew her to me. Marina. Elsa tips her head to one side. You mean Watsuki Marina? You know her? Yeah. She approached me in a bar a month or so back and we struck up a relationship of sorts. She told me the truth about you, Succubus. She also told me I had a unique scent, which can attract Succubus from some unknown reason. I don't understand my appeal myself. But I met a few Succubus, and then there's IU, Cosmos, and Ifumi too. It was strange at first, but I'm getting used to interacting with Succubus. I don't think you're all that different from ordinary humans. Ah, I see. I was getting all panicky for a sec there, but if Marina's the one who told you about us, that should be fine. It looks like I've dodged a bullet. Man, I'd hate to get in the princess' bad side. She's like super scary. I have heard you making me curious about her. I wonder if I ever meet her. I don't know. She spent most of her time in the Succubus realm, so she can oversee all of us. She doesn't like spending time with humans very much. She might take an interest in you, though. You think she would? Well, yeah. You interrogated yourself with a whole bunch of Succubus. I bet the princess is watching us even now. She probably had her eye on you for a long, long time. I better be careful here. You better be careful, Hiroki. Hazel claps her hands on my shoulder. The princess can get kinda jealous if she starts taking a liking to you. You might be in real danger. Oh, this is going funny. After my chat with Hazel, I get my equipment and leave the Okura Sports Center. I check out the at the counter with Yuriko, and apologize profoundly for overstaying my welcome. I know I stayed a few minutes more than I should have, so I just got a little lost. I was looking for the toilet and I wasn't sure where it was. Alright, I suppose that explains why I couldn't find you in the tennis courts when I checked. Yuriko doesn't look entirely convinced by my lie, but since she has no proof of my wrongdoings, she obligated to believe me. Very well then, my apologies. I should have shown you where the facilities were. In any event, I hope you had a productive morning. Well, at least a very exciting morning. I sure did. I got a lot of great photos of Hazel. Thank you for your cooperation. I bow humbly to Yuriko, then take my leave. I walk to the train station, then board the next train back to Tokyo. As I sit there, rocked by the rumbling of locomotive, I let my head fall against the window. Scenery speeds past me in a blur. I see strings of square houses tipped with television aerials swaying gently in the breeze. I exhale heavily, my bag filled with expensive camera equipment cinched between my legs. Today's photo shoot was meant to be a brief one, but I feel bone tired. I never thought that Hazel would be a succubus herself, or that the succubus princess, whoever she is, might have an eye on me. I feel like my life once so eventfully has started to move a breakneck pace. What's going to happen to me next? I'm almost afraid to find out. I get to work a little after midday, exhausted from my early morning. It would be nice if I could get the rest of the day off, but you know what they say, there's no rest for the wicked. I upload all the photos of Hazel to the cloud. While I'm in the middle of sorting through these images, yawning as I do so, my boss ambles over a cup of coffee in my hand. Welcome, Sakura. It's good to see you. I trust you had a fruitful morning? Oh yes, the shoot with Hazel went even better than I expected. Wonderful. Did you get a lot of juicy photos? I'll let you be the judge of that. See for yourself. I start to scroll through the photos I took of Hazel. My boss observes them over my shoulder, nursing the cup of coffee all the while. The strong scent of coffee beans hangs in the air. It makes my stomach rumble. I don't think I had lunch yet. I'd murder some of Hifumi rice balls right now. Well, that's a good sentence. Heck, I'm so famished I even settled for the far less inferior rice balls from the nearby convenience store. Oh, these are nice, very nice in fact. My boss leans in closer and closer to my monitor with each photo I show him. I already did take a lot of pictures this morning. There's easily 200 of these, maybe even more. Most of the shots depict Hazel in the tennis court in various action-oriented poses. There are a few shots of her stretching and even more of her holding her racket, her expression fierce and determined. I think these shots look rather nice myself. But my boss seems rather more taken with the photos of Hazel in the changing room. He augurs her plump tights and her heaving bosom unabashedly. I swear he has no shame. Hey Ogasawa, pause on that photo. I pause on a shot of Hazel sitting on the bench in the changing room, holding a bottle of water to her lips. The way her tongue pokes out from between her pursed lips suggests something rather salacious. Oh yes, this is good. My boss shook his hearty approval. This is sterling work, Zawara. I particularly like these more candid shots which show Hazel at her most vulnerable. The action shots on her tennis courts are nice too, of course. But I think that I'd like to see even more photos of similar caliber to these first. Perhaps I arrange another meeting between you and Hazel. You can take more photographs in other location. Variety is the spice of life, after all. You could have some of her working out in the gym or maybe posting in a pole in a nice tight one piece. I heard she's quite an accomplished swimmer too. Huh. I can't help but smirk at this, insolent though it may be. My boss is so transparent. I started to think that he asked me to photograph Hazel not out of any genuine interest in a sporting achievement, but because he wanted to ogle her body. If that's the case, I can't blame him. Her toned tan body is rather attractive. But he could try and be a little less blatant about it. Why does he need a photograph of her in a swimsuit anyway? Next he'll be asking for shots of her in the shower. Yeah. I mean, if you would actually compare underwear and swimsuits are less sexy than underwear, considering those swimsuits are not hidden. There's like this, the things that are hidden are the things that most people wish to see even more. I'm sorry sir, but I don't know how possible that would be. Oh? My boss tone darkens, he glows at me, his earlier good humor gone. Are you trying to tell me that I can and cannot do Ogisawara? I need to remind you that I'm your boss, the lowly employee. If I give you a task, you must do everything in your power to complete it. That is the nature of our relationship. Don't get a swollen head because I complimented you once or twice. You still have a lot of room for growth. That attitude of yours is particular needs to change. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I know you're on the charge here. It's just the receptionist at Okinawa Sports Center, Yuriko, her name was very adamant that I not go into any other rooms other than the indoor tennis courts. I was only able to take these snapshots in the changing room on the sly. If she found out, I would have been ejected from the premises. I can go back, but I doubt she let me into the gym or the pool. So this Yuriko woman gave you grief, did she? My boss sets his cup of coffee down on my desk, then cuffs me over the head. Fortunately, he doesn't use too much force. Oh, dosy boy, you should have told me early instead of trying to act all smart. I'll phone the sports center later today and resolve this issue. I booked you another appointment for next week maybe, and I grant you access into the other parts of the sports center. I do everything to accommodate you, or my name isn't Ayawatatsu. I don't know how to read that properly. Huh? I look at my boss blankly. Your name is Tatsu. Well, I'm gonna say Tatsu, it's easiest to read. Yes, it is. Why? You didn't know that? No, sir. I used to call him my boss, boss. That I never really thought of him as having a name. It must be come up before, of course, but I never really stuck. How about that? I feel like I learned something new today. Well, it doesn't matter. We're not friends, so you have no reason to call me by my first name. Sir is good enough for the likes of you. Yeah, I figured as much. Seriously, what was the point of that little interlude? Now I get back on the phone to Okinawa Sports Center. I can't have them tell my workers workers where and where they can't go. Not while you're on the job. I'm counting on you get even more high quality premium pictures of Hazel Williams. Don't let me down now. I won't, sir. I do my best. That's what I like to hear, attaboy. My boss retrieves his coffee from my desk and walks back to his office. Jeez. I lean back in my chair, exhausted. It looks like I'll be seeing Hazel again sooner than I think. Yuriko too. I hope she doesn't give me too much trouble. 1 week later. Really? I thought we would start to get to the end here. We are very close. Hey Hiroki, you came back. That's right, I sure did. I greet Hazel with a sheer smile and a wave. It's been a little while since I last saw her, but her brightened smile has lost none of her previous charm. I came here a little later in the day than my initial meeting, about 16 p.m. Now that this photography session is meant to last until 18. Usually Hazel finished up the sports center about 15, but she's hung around a little later for my sake. For that I'm very grateful. Hazel was in the middle of a practice tennis match with another girl when I interrupted her. She dropped the racket with an apology and rushed to greet me, returning my smile with one of her own. She looks so excited right now. She's practically bouncing up and down on her heels, much to the irritation of an ever-present Yuriko. Well, I'm glad you two seem to be getting on so well. I'll take my leave now, since I'm obviously not wanted. Hey, Yuriko, wait. Hazel calls out to her flingy lover, but Yuriko ignores her. She turns about neatly on one heel and marches off, slamming the door behind her. After Yuriko's departure, a rather awkward silence enveloped the large tennis courts. Hazel laughs awkwardly, perhaps in an attempt to diffuse the neaty atmosphere, and scratches her cheeks with one finger. Sorry about that, Hiroki. It's fine, you done nothing wrong. You don't need to apologize. If anything, I feel like I'm the one who should offer you an apology. Oh? Hazel raised an eyebrow. How'd you work that one out? It might be my own hubris talking, but well, I hope I haven't soured your relationship with Yuriko. She did not seem happy to see me again. She's just yellow. She's been in a bad mood ever since your boss called to arrange another meeting. I see. I figured as much. Since my boss called about a second meeting right after the first, that must mean Yuriko's been pissy for a whole week. I hope she hasn't taken that out on Hazel. Maybe Yuri isn't the purest form of love after all. I guess even lesbians are susceptible to jealousy. Not that Yuriko's feelings are entirely irrational. I did sleep with Hazel after all, in a locker no less. Does that make me the bad guy here? Or maybe Hazel the bad guy for initiating a close contact. But she only did that because she is a succubus. It's in her nature. This is such a headache. I hope she isn't too mad at you. Yuki's flightly like that. She gets mad pretty easy. This would be the first time we had a falling out. And you're okay with that? It should be fine. Elsa smiles blindly. I don't like it when Yuriko gets mad, but she never stays mad for long. I see. I'm glad her relationship is still going strong. Then, Elsa doesn't seem at all concerned by Yuriko's poor mood, so I guess I shouldn't let it affect me either. Still, I'm starting to feel a little like a third wheel in this tumultuous relationship. Well then, today I have a permission to take photos in a few other areas of the sports center. My boss asked I could take some pics of you in this swimming pool, but that feels a little too, I don't know, like something from a Graveyard photo book. Would you be comfortable doing that? Would I ever? Here's a puffs out her chest, proudly her hands on her hips. I'm pretty pleased with my body. I worked long and hard to get these nice toned muscles. If your readers want to see what I got on beneath my clothes, I wouldn't mind giving them a little bit of a free service. But Yuriko's might not approve. I don't mind making her a little yelly, but I don't want to piss her off too much. Yeah, I figured as much. Yuriko's not even here at the present, but I guess she's still something of an obstacle. Oh well. Maybe we could scrap the swimsuit idea, then I think it's a little sketchy anyway. Sure, I took a photos while you're wearing that skin-tight swimsuit, but that's par the course for idols. Sports stars like hers are usually treated a bit more seriously. Even if she has become famous online for going commander during all her important matches. Do you want to head to the gym then? That should give you an ample opportunity to show off those muscles of yours. Oh yes, that sounds like a great idea. My arms have been aching for a good workout. Let's go. Hazel lops on one toned tanned arm drew mine, then tugs me off the tennis courts. She's very strong despite her short stature, and I find myself pulled along behind her, powerless to resist. And that's the next picture, so let's save there. And this. So that means next episode gonna be the last episode of Sakura Succubus 2. So that means after the next episode and the intro will be Sakura Night 3. Then after I'm done with Sakura Night 3, I will jump straight into Sakura Succubus 3. After that, they have actually not come out any other Sakura, so I have no idea what's up next after that. I hope they doesn't throw out Sakura Night 4, because that's too far. I can accept trilogies, but hit a fourth and it's starting to become a little bit strange. Just like if we take, for example, Lord of the Rings, trilogy. Then Hobbit, trilogy. Star Wars, there are actually 2 trilogies, but they're classified as trilogies actually, even though there are 6. The ones afterward, those 6 ones that was first, even though there was 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, and now it's been 7, 8. I think they're going a little too far, but I want to see how it ends anyway. But that was all I have for Sakura, so with this time, so hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!